Okay, hey everybody. Sorry about that. I was trying to use OBS Studio to do the live, and I don't know what happened. It just was not working for whatever reason. But anyway, I recorded a brief video from it of the CPS memes so that, and I'm trying to get all that worked out so it'll upload sometime. But anyway, thank you guys for being patient as I'm trying out this new software and everything. And right now, I've just went back to doing it through YouTube because I don't understand why the other software messed up. Other than that, my Wi-Fi is just really that bad. And I think what had messed it up is that I turned on the Wi-Fi on my phone so that I could go to the Text Now app, and it caused it to mess up because it was too much things on the Wi-Fi. But the Wi-Fi has really been acting up today, more so than usual. But anyway, so I had to do the meme part of this video separate, and that'll upload at some point tonight. Like I said, I'm trying to work on that right now so I can get it uploaded. But anyway, so like I said, I seen the movie Doctor Sleep over the weekend, and the villains in it reminded me a lot of CPS workers and the CPS organization. For one, they preyed on children, and pretty much the thing of the movie was, even though there was a lot of supernatural stuff in it, and the children that they were choosing to prey on were special, as in like they had psychic abilities, or what Danny Torrance called it, the Shining. Um, he um, he also was a special child too, but he ended up finding ways to hide that about himself, which led to him becoming an alcoholic and wasting most of his life drinking, to try to hide that. So he kind of went underneath the radar. But what the memes I did the other night were based off of is the very first scene. So again, spoilers if you haven't seen the movie or read the book. But like I said, this is just the first scene, like the first 5 minutes, so it doesn't really spoil much. But what I took the meme from was at the beginning, there's a little girl named Violet, and there's a woman that is sitting on a stump next to the lake by the woods. And, the girl approaches her, like they have this cordial conversation. And, she's kind of like luring this girl in by being nice to her and seemingly interested in her. And she ends up, the girl comments about her hat, and she said that she wears that hat so much that her friends have named her after that, and said that they call her Rose the Hat. So then the girl says that looks like a magician's hat, and Rose replies, would you like to see some magic? And the little girl, of course, is like, that she loves magic or whatever. So Rose takes off her hat and tells her to reach in, and she pulls out a flower. And then Rose takes out a flower, but she's hiding it, and she's like, can you guess what color the flower is? Because again, you'll find out later that these children are special. They have psychic abilities. And the girl thinks for a second, she says purple. And then Rose shows it to her, and she said, violet, like you. And she takes it and she eats the flower. And the girl's like, you're not supposed to eat flowers. And Rose, I don't remember exactly what she said about eating flowers. Um, but something about flowers tasting good and something about I think the more special they are, the better they taste, and that's when the little girl notices these people are coming through the woods towards them, and she's feeling more weary of the situation, and she's like says something to the extent of, I should get back to my mommy, and Rose grabs the girl by the arm and it's like, no, no, stay, um see more magic, and her eyes start glowing, and you don't really see what happens to Violet, but you're led to believe that something awful happened to her, and that she never made it back to her mom. Um, Later in the movie, you find out that they have been, killing children because they need, these psychic children, these special children, the children who have the shine in them that have these abilities, that they have to kill them to get the steam out of them to keep their own steam going, their own life going. You find out these people have been around for centuries, and the way they've extended their life and their own, psychic powers is by preying on these special children. So, that kind of reminded me of CPS because CPS has to prey on children. They have to keep kidnapping children in order to keep the organization going. And like I said, it could have started with good intentions, and I think it could serve a purpose. I think it could actually serve a much greater purpose than what it's serving now. I feel like it could actually be used to actually help families, instead of what it's being used for now, which is to take advantage of struggling families, um, and to gain profit from the destruction of families, and to gain profit by traumatizing children and traumatizing the parents and the rest of the family as well. So, and like I said, some of the CPS workers, it's not even like it's just a job to them. Like, you can tell some of them, they legitimately are feeding off the souls of children. Um, like they get some kind of weird, twisted enjoyment out of a child crying for their parents. It's like on one hand, it's like they hate it because they don't want them to cry for their parents, but at the same time, they get some kind of sadistic twisted like fix off of seeing children in pain. They feed on suffering. Oh, that's another thing Rose said at some point too, was to a child that she killed, shortly, not too far into the movie, but one of the children that she killed, that's what she said. Like, you actually get to witness this murder. Um, and she said that it was going to hurt a lot because pain purifies the steam, and that they feed on fear, and that's a lot of what CPS does. They feed on parents' fear, they feed on children's fear, and they get an enjoyment out of causing others pain. That's why they're psychopaths. Um, it's not just that they don't care. A lot of them actually really, really get off on hurting people, and they're able to do it in a socially acceptable way because of that job title. So, most of them, they aren't good people, or they aren't even just complacent, passive people that's like, well, it's just a job, it's just a part of the thing. Dee, dee, dee. It's not even that in a sense, and that's pretty bad. If you're taking kids because it's like, oh well, we've got to do the quid pro whatever thing that I have to make so much money, or I'm not looking like I'm performing well at my job if I don't, remove so many children, um, then it looks like I'm not doing a good job. So I better do that to go along to get along. It's not even that innocent. It's like actually sadistically evil, in most cases. Um, But like I said, I do think it could be used for good. I'm not going to be live very long tonight because of all the issues with trying to get this uploaded and having the CPS meme video. It's only like 6 minutes long, but I'm going to get that uploaded as soon as I can. Actually, that's one of the things that you can call though. Um, Take it back. Let me turn on my Wi-Fi. I hope it doesn't end my stream. This is stop. My Okay, we are not turning on the Wi-Fi. Forget that. I'm not turning on the Wi-Fi because I can already tell it's going to try to do too much and it might mess up my stream. Okay, so I'm trying to transfer the CPS memes file. Again, if you haven't seen the movie Doctor Sleep or read the book, I would highly suggest it. It was a very good movie. I really really enjoyed it. Um, and it also, on another note, what is happening? Why is it not going? Come on, let's go. On another note, it also reminded me of the fact that we do have, oh, it says stable or connections unstable. Am I still here? Hello? Can you see me? It was saying that the connection was unstable. Probably just because I briefly turned on the Wi-Fi on my phone. I have a new phone, and so I haven't put the Text Now app over onto it. I'm going to need to do that now because I realize I cannot have Wi-Fi on. Plus, I need to probably restart the modem or something because I should at least be able to have two devices, and this is the only device I have right now that is on the Wi-Fi. So, but another thing that I would like to mention too is that not only what I had already said about the CPS stuff and how I feel it relates to that movie or to the novel, but it also reminds me of the fact that we do have special abilities, at least my beliefs. I do believe, like how I can't remember what his name was, but it was um the African American gentleman from the Overlook that had become friends with Danny and told him about him having shine. What he had said in the movie was that most people have a little bit of shine in them, but don't know it, you know. And I do believe that most people do have psychic abilities to some extent. I've experienced things in my life. I know a lot of people who they've experienced psychic abilities. I think it just kind of depends on if you're open to it. You're kind of taught by society, or it's not acceptable to have those abilities when you're a child, and so you kind of conform until you, I guess, like you hide your shine. You know, like it was talking about in the movie. And so, they teach you that at a really young age. Um, But the other thing that reminded me of is how the people were targeting, like, the dark people. I can't remember what they called themselves, but they were targeting children and people, but I think it was pretty much like just children. I don't think the oldest person they had kind of targeted was 15. Um, and they turned her. So that's the other thing too. They also And that's kind of what CPS does to children. CPS and people who adopt children or foster homes and stuff is they take children and it's like they either turn them so that they can be used for evil or to continue the evil and make them hate their parents and their, background and everything, and turn them into cold-hearted, monstrous robots, and that are very self-centered and usually narcissistic and psychopathic to some degree themselves. Or if they can't turn them, then they will destroy them. They will, but in any case, they're after the child's soul. They either want to turn it to evil or they want to destroy them. If they can't make them evil, they want to destroy them. Um, but I'm going to get back to that point as far as the psychic abilities thing, because it's not it's not so much, it's just a theory. Okay, so just, I'm not saying this as a matter of fact, I'm saying it as a theory, while also trying to figure out how to, what is going on? Why don't I see Bluetooth? No, I want to share it via Bluetooth. There we go. I had to go into something else. Come on. Come on. Open. Oh, it's because my Wi-Fi ain't on. I mean, not my Wi-Fi, my Bluetooth ain't on. Send! Send! Accept. Okay. Sorry, I have to get this so I can post that to you guys so you can see the memes that I made. And if you know any memes or you see any memes or any jokes about at CPS's expense, feel free to send them or share them in the chat, or not the chat, in the groups on Facebook. But anyway, back to the theory. So, because of the theory, or because of the movie Doctor Sleep, with the villains targeting special children, I will say there is some evidence to support that in our reality with CPS, because, like I discussed in another video, how they target parents or children with Rh negative DNA. But I don't think it's just that. I think that because they, let's say, are of the same type, species, or whatever you want to call it, of person that the people that were the villains in Doctor Sleep were, that they also can just sense things about certain people and children. And so I think it's like when they see, like I would say my son, he especially, my daughter does to some degree, but my son, I know very strongly at an early age showed promise in psychic abilities and in psychic healing, I guess you would call it. I'm not really sure what that's called exactly. Energetic healing, I guess. Um, and you could tell that it was like the child that shined the brightest that CPS targeted the most and was most hateful about, and was more, like, say, bloodthirsty towards. So I do think to some degree that that is a possibility, that maybe they target a lot of children that are special. Um, but I think that's usually like the children that they end up trying to destroy, or they put them on pills. And the movie with Doctor Sleep, they said that they talked about how getting put on pills and stuff like Paxil or whatever, that it messed up the steam or whatever, or you could call it the shine or their abilities, that it repressed it. And so maybe that's part of it too, like why they're so like drug heavy, or like with my son especially, they were wanting to push for him to be put in like some kind of mental, psych psychotherapy stuff at like 4 years old. 4 years old. They were trying to get him sent to psychiatrists and stuff and get him medicated. And it's like, no, that's not even legal. You cannot anywhere in the United States legally give drugs to anyone under the age of 5. And he was like 3 and 4 when they were trying to put him on drugs. And so, like I said, it's a very loose correlation. And, it depends on what you believe in and stuff too, how much you want to believe in that. And like I said, I don't want to sound like a crazy person by saying that it is true. I'm just saying that I'm open to that also being a possibility. However, I will say that no child is safe, even if they are not naturally gifted or psychic children. And that I really just think that for most of the part, it is what I said in the beginning, that they just feed on the souls of children in general and off of causing pain and suffering to families. Like a lot of them just deeply, sincerely hate families. And like you can tell. They can't stand to see families being happy together. They want to make any of your visits with your children, they want to try to turn everything into meaning something dark and evil and twisted, to try to make you look bad. And it's like you almost wonder, like, are they making all of this up, or are they really that psychotic and out there that they actually believe what they are saying? Because I mean, it is possible that some of these people are just so delusional and believe so badly that family, biological blood family, has to be so horrendous that every child needs to be saved from their parents, that they just view everything negatively. Like, people who they see life through a negative lens. If it's sunny outside, it's, oh, there's a drought in the country. We need more rain. And if it's raining, it's like, yeah, the roads are going to flood, and my road is muddy. And it's like there's people in general who kind of have negative outlooks. And so if you took that and like made it specifically about family or blood relatives and stuff, about parents with children, that all parents are evil and children must be saved from their parents, and and you mixed it with psychosis, to where it's like they literally create another reality for themselves, to where they can believe what they're saying. They can actually believe that. Um, so yeah, I I would more so say it's the latter rather than that they target children or parents with psychic abilities. Although there, from the research I've done, like I shared in another video, people with Rh negative blood types or carriers, they have been targeted more, and people who have psychic abilities seem to be being targeted more. But that doesn't necessarily prove anything. It's a correlation, but it's not cause. There is a high correlation, but there's no cause um showing that that is actually what it is. However, um however, like I said, I do believe that I'm not going to go out there like some Bible thumping people might and say that they are actually Satan worshipers, and that because I have heard some other channels say that they are Satan worshipers and that they sacrifice children to Satan. I do know that they sell children on the black market, or they allow children to be kidnapped from foster homes and sold on the black market or sold into child sex trafficking. Um, I believe one of the statistics, it was like 90% of children who are sex trafficking or human trafficking victims, that they were somehow involved with CPS or the foster care system. Um, so there's a whole lot of reasons why they could be doing it. And again, the movie was really good. And it reminded me, again, I'm gonna get all kind of woo-woo on you guys, but it reminded me that we do have those abilities within us, within each and every person. I really do believe that. If you don't, that's fine. But if you do, I would highly suggest looking into stuff with third eye awakenings and astral projection, um, and different meditations and stuff that allow you to have telepathy or telepathic communications, and try to reach out to your children using that. Even if like you do it and you're like, it doesn't even feel right, I don't believe it, it doesn't hurt just to try it. And it could even be therapeutic for you to do some exercises of things that you want to say to your child, and I don't know, maybe we'll do some of that on this channel. Like maybe I'll come up with an exercise that we can do where we go into a meditative state and say some reassuring things to our children, or uh, try to tell them the truth about what happened, or whatever it is that you feel that you wish you could tell your children, but obviously you can't because the natural 3D forms of communication aren't available to you. And again, I'm not trying to get really out there and everything. But if that is something that you would be interested in, let me know, and I might do a video on that. Um, okay, so hopefully the CPS meme video will be up soon. I'm trying to get this on here. Yes, open. Okay. All right. I'm getting it, and I just realized I cannot upload this video because I have to add another account, because I don't have this account on here. I was hoping to avoid that, but it's all right. So, yeah, if you guys want to make some memes and stuff, or like go watch this movie, seriously, it was a great movie. And also, I feel like that you could take a lot from it. And for those of you who don't know about CPS, go watch this movie, because the villains in this movie literally are the spiritual embodiment of that organization. No matter what you believe as far as any of this other stuff with psychic abilities or whatever, or that they're Satan worshipers, or that they feed on the souls of children, whatever it is, I will say that that movie, those villains in that movie, they are a perfect internal representation of like what these people are on the inside. Even if they don't believe in psychic abilities or any of that, spiritually, that is what they are doing, or mentally and emotionally, that is what they are doing. And they are preying upon children. I have already messed up how to sign in. Crap. Can I not just go back? Okay. Well, anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off here, and then I'm going to be uploading a video right after this of the CPS memes for you guys to look at and review. And I would like for you guys to share your own memes and stuff, and share your opinions about the movie or the novel if you've seen it. But yeah, I'm sorry this video is really short. I was having a lot of issues with trying to get the stream to even work earlier. I've got to get my Wi-Fi checked, and um like I said, I don't think that I can do it through the thing that I was trying to do it through. My hair is just awful tonight. I don't know what is going on with it, but it's just awful. So, yeah. So done with hair. Anyway, you guys, um I'm sorry this video kind of seems a little bit all over the place. I'm very tired, and like I said, I've just kind of got frustrated with trying to get to that OBS studio to work with streaming, and then the stream got cut off, and I don't even know how long it was I was talking afterwards before I realized it, because it didn't tell me it had stopped. So anyway, you guys have a great night. I'm going to upload that video here in a minute. It should be uploaded very, very shortly. So I will see you guys later.